Click and collect. It's time for the news.
It is a beautiful evening. A warm welcome to the news at 8. We're live here at the Hill in Pocketshill, Highlands, Harare, the capital city. I am Liam Bernard.
And I am Yvonne Mukondani.
With Susan Masson on the sign language desk.
And Arthur Evans will be joining us from Montrose. But for now, let's take a look at the stories that we are leading with.
In our headlines tonight, Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga calls for the removal of sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe and Nicaragua.
And in business, Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe assures Zimbabweans of continued stability of the ZiG currency.
Much later in sports news, the Zimbabwe senior rugby team beat Uganda 22-20 to progress the semi-final of the Rugby Africa Cup. Those are our leading stories tonight. We begin with our first report. A Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga has called for the unconditional lifting of unilateral sanction imposed on Zimbabwe and Nicaragua.
Let's get the details from Abigail Temple.
This year marks the 45th anniversary of the Sandinista Revolution, a pivotal moment in Nicaragua's history.
Back in 1979, the Sandinista National Liberation Front, led by Daniel Ortega, toppled the Somoza regime. It was a victory for the people, a hard-fought battle against oppression and dictatorship. As part of the Sandinista Revolution commemorations, Vice President Chiwenga, who is in Nicaragua for the celebrations, laid a wreath at the Commander Carlos Fonseca Amador National Hero Memorial in honor of the revolutionary who founded the Sandinista National Liberation Front, Nicaragua's ruling party.
We have come here to celebrate with you because we want the revolution to stay with us and to stay with the future generations. And we are very proud of the resilience of the Nicaraguan people.
Later in the evening, thousands of people converged at the Plaza of the Revolution for the commemorations where Nicaragua President Daniel Ortega was joined by several international delegates who delivered solidarity messages. In his address, Vice President Chiwenga called for the removal of the illegal sanctions imposed on both Zimbabwe and Nicaragua by the West.
As you mark your 45 years
celebran
of this
el 45 aniversario de
we join you in this celebration. Your Excellency, our parties were formed almost at the same time. We fought a bitter armed struggle together. Whilst we were miles away apart, you fought the Americans, we fought the British. You got your independence in 1979, and we got our independence in 1980. That's what makes us Siamese twins, and together we should march forward. Yes,
hacia adelante.
We are under coercive sanctions by some Western imperial
por
powers
parte de potencias imperialistas
that will not
occidentales,
detract us
pero no nos derrotarán
to build our two countries,
y no
raise
nuestros
the
países.
standards of living of our people. We ask that these coercive measures
nosotros
be
demandamos
lifted
que
because they don't
estas
serve anyone.
medidas
These celebrations are a time to reflect on the past, celebrate the present, and look towards a brighter future. The music, the dancing, the energy, it all speaks to the resilience of the Nicaraguan people. And as the celebrations continue, one thing is certain, the spirit of the Sandinista revolution lives on. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Managua.
Government says it is forging ahead with the digitalization of rural schools, with Tewane High School in Bulilima, Matebeleland South Province receiving a consignment of computers as it celebrated 100 years of existence this Saturday.
There is no better way of celebrating a good legacy than receiving a gift that may aid in the development and continuation of the same legacy. This was the obtaining situation at the Tewane High School centenary celebrations this Saturday, with government donating computers to the school, fulfilling President Emmerson Mnangagwa's mantra of leaving no one and no place behind.
We would like to thank the government and especially His Excellency for giving us guidance and leading the way in terms of modernizing our education system. E-learning is the future.
Learners are going to benefit a lot, and we look forward to improvement in terms of the pass rate, as there has been a challenge before of computers here. They were using their own personal computers.
Handing over the computers to the Methodist Church in Zimbabwe, the custodians of the school, the Minister of Defense, Honorable Obam Chingurika Shirisada, government's vision of an upper middle income society hinges on digitalization of the education system.
The President has a vision under Education 5.0 to make sure that every school in Zimbabwe is computerized. Whether in the urban areas or in the rural areas. As his vision is being rolled out, Vision 2030, he is saying he's not leaving no one and no community behind.
The church says its educational policy seeks to uplift communities.
The church has upheld the high standard set by the early missionaries. The number of schools has increased and are still rendering the same values.
Addressing thousands of ZANU-PF supporters, Methodist congregants and government officials who gathered at the centenary celebrations at Tewane High School this Saturday, Minister Mchingurika Shiri said government is forging ahead with construction of education infrastructure countrywide.
The government is forging ahead with its policy on increased funding to expand our educational facilities under the guiding principle that no learner should travel more than 5 kilometers to go to school. The heritage-based education curriculum 5.0 adopted by government is premised on having an education sector which contributes to the production of goods and services in our economy by inculcating problem-solving mindset, science and technology, creativity and entrepreneurship.
Established in 1924, the Methodist-run school has produced fine students in the mold of Reverend Kenan Banana, the first president of independent Zimbabwe, Comrade Ndabaningi Stole, Dr. Nathan Shamuyarira, Comrade Charles Ndlovu, Dr. Charles Utete, Honorable Justice Sansule, Comrade Edson Robo, Dr. Dumiso Dabengwa, Dr. Michael Ndubiwa, Professor Elphas Mkono Shuro, the former Attorney General Advocate Prince Machaya, Dr. Lazarus Dokora, Ambassador Wilinzenzo Nzimbi, Honorable Witness Rakarwa, Professor Rungano Zobo, Professor Mkrele Hlolo, and Dr. McLean Bala, among others. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Tewane in Bulilima.
Now, the body of a national hero, Brigadier General retired Michael Chamenuka, is now in his rural home, with the people of Mashonaland West getting an opportunity to bid farewell to one of their own.
Brigadier General retired Chamenuka's body arrived at his homestead in Nkani village, Urungwe West, Saturday morning, where it was received by government officials, colleagues, friends and relatives. The local community expressed gratitude to government for honoring the late Kada with national hero status.
Tikunzwa kukwidziridzwa, tikunzwa kuremekedzwa zvikuru kuti raita gamba rekutanga munzvimbo yedu yeHurungwe ino iyi.
Tinodawozve kutenda baba vaMunangagwa nokutitarisa kuti mwana wedu wekuHurungwe kuno comrade chef vedu vaende for the first time kuno kuHurungwe kuti tiwane gamba runokuradzikwa kuHeroes Acre.
Later in the afternoon, the body was flown to his foliate farm where it will lie in state. The Mashonaland West leadership, which included traditional leaders and ruling party officials, described the late national hero as a unifier and a development-oriented leader.
Kutenda kuti varangarira gamba redu, mwana wedu, ndangari baba, angari mkoma, angari munhu uyo angari eda kuti nzvimbo ibudirire zvakare.
Vaiti kana vakabva kubasa kuarmy vachiuya kuno vaiuya vobatsira munyaya dzedevelopment.
Comrade Chaminuka angari munhu angachimira-mira zvakanyanya maererano nenyaya dzebudiriro.
On Sunday, the body will be flown back to Harare ahead of burial set for Monday at the National Heroes Acre. Brigadier General retired Chaminuka died on Saturday last week after a short illness and was declared a national hero. He is survived by his wife Lillian and 5 children. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Urungwe.
Government says the United States of America has no right to meddle in Zimbabwe's internal affairs. This comes after United States top envoy to Zimbabwe, Pamela Marie Tremont, held a news conference in Harare on Thursday where she appeared to question the country's democracy.
In an interview with ZBC News in Harare this Saturday, the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jenfan Muswere, said recent utterances by the United States Ambassador to Zimbabwe, Pamela Marie Tremont, are undiplomatic as a country has no right to meddle in the affairs of a sovereign state.
The comments by the U.S. Ambassador are undiplomatic and also fictitious, given the background that the right to govern and lead a country in the context of Zimbabwe is derived from the people of Zimbabwe, is derived from the constitution and the legal framework that is provided for in terms of our laws.
He added that Zimbabwe is a better example of democracy than the United States.
I want to appeal to the conscience of the U.S. ambassador to reflect on the historical aspects related to the election processes that have taken place in the United States, which also includes the Al Gore President George W. Bush election, the controversy and chaos involved in the election processes between President Trump and President Biden in the last term, where for the first time we learned that Americans defined what they term domestic terrorism and vote rigging claims by many candidates. And that recently we've witnessed American presidential candidates being dragged to court, yet we have elections in 2024, and that assassination attempts on presidential candidates. So I believe our appeal to the conscience of the U.S. ambassador will perhaps bring light to the reality and reflection that Zimbabwe's democracy is matured so fast that we are a sovereign nation, and that in Zimbabwe we do not drag candidates, presidential candidates and any candidates to court. And in Zimbabwe we do not assassinate or attempt to assassinate presidential candidates.
Dr. Mswere noted that the new U.S. envoy should instead work towards improving diplomatic ties between the two countries.
So as a country, our engagement and engagement policy is very clear that we're a friend to all and an enemy to none, and that we look forward to working together with the United States on a number of cooperation and development projects as we journey towards an upper middle income society by the year 2030.
Ambassador Tremont presented her credentials to President Emmerson Mnangagwa on Wednesday, assuming her diplomatic mission in Zimbabwe. Her remarks come at a time the United States is grappling with the battered image of a failed democracy after an assassination attempt on presidential aspirant and former President Donald Trump. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Buoyed by an accelerated industrialization drive and massive infrastructure developments, Manicaland province is ready to reap huge benefits as Zimbabwe hosts the SADC Industrialization Week and Summit.
With industry booming in Manicaland, there is no better time for companies based in the province to aim high as Zimbabwe hosts the SADC Industrialization Week. Manicaland Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Advocate Misheke Mugadza, is convinced that the regional event is an opportunity to attract more investors.
Recently, the President commissioned a plant at Mutare Teachers College, which plant is making drinks from any fruit, but at this particular moment, they are mainly concentrating on Mauyu. We talk of a new plant in Mutare, which is now processing avocados and making avocado oil, which is being exported. One company investment that we are proud of in Manicaland is the Verify Engineering. They have done us proud. The gas that they are producing is enough for the country, but a lot of it is being exported into SADC countries.
Manicaland province anticipates the summit to help cement its position as an attractive investment destination.
We have 21 since January investors that have been given the green light to invest in Manicaland, and some of them are already on the ground. Some are finishing up their paperwork, and I'm telling you, by the end of the year, we'll probably be reaching a fifth number mark.
Advocate Mugadza believes President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who has been at the forefront of promoting regional peace, takes over the SADC chair at the right time.
Zimbabwe is a peace-loving country. It has got a peace-loving president, and we are happy that our president, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, is going to be taking over the SADC chairmanship. That in itself is going to assist in as far as the maintenance of unity and peace in the region is concerned, and we can foresee a lot of them listening to him and seeking guidance.
Manicaland boasts of unique and intriguing tourism destinations and seeks to take advantage of the SADC Industrialization Week to lure more tourists. Other areas of investments include energy, agriculture and the timber industry, as well as the mining sector, which recorded an average increase of 25.8% in the production of major minerals. A precursor to the SADC Years of State and Government, the SADC Industrialization Week will be held from the 28th of July to the 2nd of August. Kenya's Chifushe, ZBC News, Mutare.
The decentralization of hosting national events continues to benefit communities, with Murambinda B Secondary School, which hosted the country's 44th independence celebrations, becoming a shining beacon.
The hosting of the country's 44th independence celebrations in Buhera district has changed the face of schools in Murambinda. Murambinda B Secondary School now boasts of a new A-level block, a new computer lab, while the general outlook of the school has been improved. Learners used to struggle to access safe drinking water, But this is now a thing of the past after the school benefited a modern piped water system under the presidential borehole scheme. The school also now has a well-resourced business unit.
It is helping solve the problems that would have been a nightmare to me, that would have brought headaches to me. The practical side is being learned in this garden. So the kids are receptive quite a lot. They are accepting, they are embracing the plan.
For the school head, his headaches have been eased.
The president built us a block which is over there for A level. After selling the produce from here, we think we are going to make sure we buy the furniture for that block.
Murambinda is located in Buhera district, Manicaland province, approximately 150 kilometers southwest of Mutare, the provincial capital.
And now residents of Harare have expressed concerns over the continued breach of traffic rules by motorists, resulting in chaotic scenes which raise serious safety concerns.
Careless driving, including speeding through stoplights, moving on the opposite traffic lane, disobeying stop signs, and disregard of roadworks currently underway has become rampant in Harare. Concerned residents have implored responsible authorities to deal decisively with the culprits as these actions raise serious safety concerns.
Mafambiro avanoita anoratidza kuti vane vasina hanya nevanhu saka inyaya inoda kutariswa kuti vanhu vasapinda munjodzi zvisina kumira zvakanaka. Saizvozvi vanhu vomushika-shika havana order uye havana basa navanhu, vanongoti chavanoda imari maningi.
Kuti vana vedu ava ndofunga vonyanya kumwa ini ndokuona kwandoita sokuona nokuti kuti vakadzidza zvitamba chaizvo handinyatsoona. Madhiraga atinenge atinyanye pese pese kana ukavaona unotongoona kuti vanhu havasi vamwa.
Hawana malaisensi kazhinji wacho. Vazhinji vacho hawana kungopuhwa moto otoita zvaanoda. Ukaona akaita problem ipa anotiza mota iyi uvasiya zvese nevabereki. Saka ndozvimwe zvada kugadzirwa chicheka.
ZRP National Spokesperson Commissioner Paul Nyati says motorists engaging in negligent driving, thereby violating road safety standards, will face prosecution.
The Zimbabwe Public Police is disturbed by the conduct which is being shown by some motorists when they are driving on the country's roads. They are openly and clearly exhibiting recklessness. And I want to assure Zimbabweans that those who are going to be identified, those who are going to be arrested, will face the full wrath of the law.
Meanwhile, police has warned the public to refrain from interfering with law enforcement duties. This follows a video circulating on social media where touts are seen assaulting and attempting to kidnap a police officer on duty. Festus Mkunguru says SADC News, Harare.
For more news, visit our website www.zbcnews.co.zw. You can also engage with us on our various social media platforms, that is Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as well as our WhatsApp channel. We are ZBC News Online.
Indeed, and these are other stories ahead in this bulletin. In business, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe assures Zimbabweans of continued stability of the ZiG currency. When we take a look in sport, the Zimbabwe senior rugby team beat Uganda 22-20 to progress to the semi-final of the Rugby Africa Cup.
We're off to a break. Do join us when we return with more.
This is the currency we've been waiting for. A currency that's not just paper and coins, but a symbol of Zimbabwe's rich resources and stability. That's Zimbabwe Gold. This is ZiG. Let's dive into what makes ZiG not just a new currency, but a new beginning for Zimbabwe's economy. ZiG is born out of a blend of traditional and innovative financial wisdom, anchored in gold and precious metals, along with foreign currency reserves. This backing isn't just for show. It's a promise of stability and trust, ensuring that ZIG's value is as solid as the gold it's pegged to. From the bustling markets of Harare to the serene landscapes of rural Zimbabwe, ZIG is set to become the medium of exchange that's both reliable and accessible, with denominations ranging from ZIG 200 to ZIG 1 and even handy coins. It caters to every transaction, big or small. Transitioning to ZIG is a breeze. It's all about inclusivity, ensuring no one is left behind in Zimbabwe's financial renaissance. ZIG doesn't walk alone. It co-circulates with other foreign currencies under Zimbabwe's multi-currency system, enriching our financial landscape. It's a legal tender that not only simplifies transactions but also restores confidence in our economy, promising a future where stability and growth go hand in hand. So why ZIG? Because it's more than just money. It's a symbol of Zimbabwe's resilience, a step towards an economy where stability is the norm, and every Zimbabwean can look forward to a prosperous future. Welcome to the era of Zimbabwe Gold, where our currency is our pride.
Days since the last day of last season, we are ready to do it all again.
Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Get all your football needs with DSTV for Business. Visit dstv.com/business and find the package that suits your business. They'll love it here.
Zimbabwe, where the sun kisses the earth, lies a world of endless opportunity.
Here, amidst the vibrant colors and lively exchanges, the spirit of abundance lives. Allow yourself the opportunity to connect and innovate. See the future of your business at the 114th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show.
Filled with ideas, new and radical, that are cultivating prosperity, growing business, innovating for change, and nurturing our future. From agriculture to agribusiness, and from agricultural education to agri-tourism, every sector finds a place to flourish here, where companies unveil their latest innovations and network with current and potential markets. SAS 2024, where the future of all business sectors is being written today.
Gastronomy, yeah, do it traditionally. Tourism written out for our own gastronomy. First of its kind gastronomy. Gamavidungo gastronomy. Gama Zimbabwe gastronomy. Covid force gastronomy. Abatizo tikuhosta. Inditenga digital star. Kutofamba digital star. Azidombo costa.
iZimbabwe le-UN Tourism baqoqe umhlangano wokuqala owe-UN Regional Forum on Gastronomy Tourism for Africa kusukela mhla ka-26 kusiyafika mhla ka-28 Ntulikazi 2024 eVictoria Falls lapha eZimbabwe. Lumbutho uyisithelo sikamama wethu welizwe leZimbabwe uDr Auxilium Mnangagwa. Lokhu kuyikusebenza gadalala ekuphakamiseni ukudla kwelaseZimbabwe. Siyakwamukela Africa, siyakwamukela United Nations Tourism. iZimbabwe igcwele injabulo.
A warm welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. The 45th Ordinary Session of the African Union Executive Council, convened in Accra, Ghana, has agreed on a common position regarding compensations on member states by former colonial states. That report.
In November 2023, and as part of the quest for reparatory justice and seeking to close the historical chapter of enslavement, colonialism, and neo-colonialism, the African Union and the government of Ghana convened the Accra Reparations Conference. It gathered together the modern global African reparations movement, including significant participation from the Caribbean community and common market, as well as civil society veterans from the diaspora and Africa. Here, leaders called for reparations of displaced and disadvantaged people and countries. The call continues to gather momentum, and the ongoing meeting of the African Union Executive Council in Accra has noted the need to ensure the process is expedited.
The Executive Council approved the concept note and the roadmap of the African Union theme for the year 2025, and I quote, building a united front to advance the causes of justice and payment for the reparation for Africa.
The meeting also looked into major continental plans for development.
The Executive Council adopted the structures of the African Humanitarian Agency and the African Inclusive Markets Excellence Center. It is envisaged that the African Humanitarian Agency, which will be hosted by Uganda, will guide and coordinate humanitarian actions across Africa to respond to various natural disasters, including droughts, floods, and cyclones.
On the sidelines of the meeting, Ambassador Shava also held fruitful discussions with Zambia, Algeria, and South Sudan to explore further areas of cooperation.
I interacted with the Foreign Affairs Minister of Zambia, who were requesting for support for their candidature for the presidency of the African Development Bank. So we promised them support. Our support for Zambia is an important one because they are our neighbor.
The meeting also discussed the successful conduct of the Pan-African Parliament Bureau elections held in March this year, in which Zimbabwe's Chief Fortune Charumbira emerged victorious. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News.
Let's get more news from our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, where Arthur Evans is on standby. Arthur.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Well, government and its developmental partners are equipping women in the textile industry with modern skills as well as machinery to improve their trade and quality of service.
Old machines. So now sesilama machines amacha akulezi insuku. These
are the sentiments that have been echoed by women in the textile industry who could not hide their excitement after the commissioning of the Makerspace Innovation Hub at the Bulawayo SME Center.
It's a problem, delays. Sometimes you might have a big order, and for you to keep that big order, you have enough machinery.
Government partners, United Nations Women, reiterated that the initiative serves as a beacon of hope and possibilities for women entrepreneurs.
This initiative represents a powerful step towards advancing gender equality through women's economic empowerment. These accelerators emphasize the critical role of women in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and creating resilient communities.
Government noted that the machines will promote women empowerment, reduce gender-based violence, and boost industrialization.
The Bulawayo Makerspace is a groundbreaking initiative aimed at empowering women-owned enterprises in clothing and textile industry.
The new Makerspace facility is a tangible demonstration of our commitment to ensure that no woman, no place in Zimbabwe is left behind.
The equipping of the first batch of 71 women with machinery and skills marks a new dawn in the contribution of women-owned small to medium enterprises to the growth of the versatile and competitive textiles industry and the economy at large. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Traditional leaders have been urged to promote the government's developmental agenda.
Kefas Maole Chikwata has been installed as the 7th Chief Wojele in Sanyati. Officiating at the event, local government and public works minister Honorable Daniel Garwe implored traditional leaders to promote government's development agenda.
Iyemi ndimi munenge muchitungamirira muchiona kuti vanhu havasi kungotema miti here, vanhu havasi kupisa masango here, vanhu havasi kudhonza zvireye here zvikonzeresa makoronga, nekuti tikaparadza nyika iyoyi yatakasiyirwa nemadziteteguru edu, vazukuru venyu nevazukuru vachateera vanenge vasina nhaka yavanenge vachitaura nezvayo kuti madziteteguru akatisiyira nhaka iyi.
Ikakhulu abantu abanjengamavillage head lo headman wakho yibo zahlalo labo isikhathi sonke ubasebenzise ekwenzeni konke ongawuya kwenza emsebenzini wabo.
The local leadership commended government for its continued support towards the welfare of traditional leaders.
Mukuru wedu wenyika Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa vanogara vachitaura kuti nyika inovakwa nevene vayo, naizvozvo kugadzwa kwamambo Wojeri kuchaunza budiriro mudistrict reSanyati uye dunhu reMashonaland West Province, sezvo madzimambo achibata basa rakakura kwazvo mukusimudzira upfumi hwenyika.
Tine 7 madzimambo asara kunofanira kuti kuitwe selection yekuti kugadzwe madzimambo tipemberere zvataita zuva ranhasi kuti vanhu vachifara tinge tine substantive chief.
Mambo ndo vanochengetedza vanhu, ndo varidzi vevanhu, uye zvakare taakuchikwanisa zvakare kuti mambo vangu vachikwanisa kuyananisa vanhu vavo vaiva nanguvaita kusawirirana kana pane paparwa mhosva, mambo vakwanisa kuchigadzira vanhu vavo, uyezve mambo akuchibatsira. Pane mapurogiramu akawanda ehurumende anouya nekuno kuSanyati anenge aida mambo kuti vakwanise kutungamirira zvirongwa zvehurumende.
The newly installed Chief Wojele vowed to hit the ground running, with restoring environmental stewardship being one of his key priorities.
Ndiri kubatikana nevana vanongozvipa pokugara, saka izvozvo ndachivimbisa zvachose kuti itsika ideya regegwa ndakudazve kushushikana nenyaya yemugwizi yekuti vanhu vanongoita madiro aidha madzi vanongona kufarika, sokuti vanenge vangoitawo zvavanoda kuti handa kungoenda kurokoza dziva ranga rine mvura irowanikwa ravhara. Saka izvozvo tarisira kuti ko iyo hurumende inenge ichiti kudii pazviri.
Chief Wojele takes over from Mr. Rabson Wojeri, who has been on acting capacity since 2016. Government is implementing various programs aimed at improving the welfare of traditional leaders, including allocation of service vehicles, sinking of poles, and homestead electrification, among other developments. Tamuka Charakupa, SADC News, Sanyati.
Speaking of positive developments, the Office of the President and Cabinet, in collaboration with the Embassy of India, is offering scholarships to students to study in various fields in the Asian countries' higher education institutions.
Students from various secondary schools gathered in Harare this Saturday for an open day for Indian tertiary institutions, offering studies and scholarships in various fields. This opportunity is open to students who wish to study in India in various fields, including pharmacy, chemical engineering, and civil engineering, among others.
I'm currently learning at High School, and I would like to study pharmacy or chemical engineering in India.
I have learned quite a lot from the program. It's beneficial.
Today was a very educational expedition because I like to study civil engineering, and I found that in MIT.
Director of Scholarships Administration in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Mr. William Taringa, says that the program is an opportunity for students to be empowered to become employment creators.
This is a grand door that has been opened for you to apply. We are looking at an initiative whereby one is able to create employment rather than being employed.
India is becoming a hub of higher education, and the quality education is available on very affordable price.
Zimbabwe and India enjoy strong bilateral relations with cooperation in various sectors, including health and education, among others. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
From Zimbabwe to India, we go from Montrose To Pockets Hill for more news. My name is Arthur Sevens for the Montrose News Desk. Over to you, team.
Thank you, Arthur. Back to Montrose indeed, and we take a short break. We will be back just now.
If you're looking for value this winter, head on over to TM Pick n Pay. Our winter warmer winners will have you stocked up for the weekend. TM Pick n Pay. Real value always.
Days since the last day of last season, we are ready to do it all again.
Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Upgrade to Compact for $29 per month to get all the Premier League football action.
In today's fast-paced world, paying in Zig is not just about exchanging physical cash. It's about tapping into the electronic payment space, where convenience meets technology. On Zimbabwe's stable, safe, sound, and efficient national payment system, experience seamless transactions at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Join the future of payments today with Zig. Secure, reliable, effortless. Pay the smart way. Pay with Zig.
High-quality alcohol-free red common bricks for sale at affordable prices. Visit Dow Bricks at Chikurubi Prison Farm, Harare. We are also recruiting salespeople.
ZBC Current Affairs. Thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
You're still watching News at 8. Thank you for staying with us. Industries in Bulawayo are making remarkable strides towards regaining their glory through embracing new technology to broaden their markets.
Investing in new technology to remodel and broaden markets was on display when Industry and Commerce Minister Honorable Mangaliso Ndlovu toured industries which include Zimbabwe and Direct Publishers Media in Bulawayo this Friday.
We actually are eyeing the local market as our initial customer base. So you realize that we are actually graduating from small-scale farmers as our customer base, right up to large-scale commercial farmers is the incoming customer base. We are also now tapping into the new markets, especially in the mining industry.
The investment in the last 24 months has been in excess of $1.3 million US,
And it's key in this industry and the sector to have the latest technology to stay relevant and to be able to produce the capacities that the country requires.
With the government mantra being ilizwe lakhiwa ngabanikazi balo, nyika inovakhwa nebene bayo, Industry and Commerce Minister Honorable Ndlovu applauded industries for rebuilding and modernizing the manufacturing sector.
Over the last few years, we have seen some remarkable investments into latest technologies. We were together where we saw some of the farming implements that have come in. They are retooling, they are replacing old equipment. So it is very important to understand what they are going through, how we can support them at policy level.
The retooling of Bulawayo industries is key in boosting the country's economy and is in line with the Second Republic's vision to revitalize Bulawayo as the country's industrial capital. Lisa Masung, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Government says human capital development remains top priority as the country moves in to invest in knowledgeable and innovative graduates.
Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services Minister Dr. Jenfan Muskwere, who was guest of honor at the Christian College of Southern Africa COSA 28th graduation ceremony in Harare this Saturday, noted the importance of human capital development in national transformation. Dr. Muskwere also challenged journalists to keep abreast with new trends in the industry and to tell the true Zimbabwe story.
The graduates have been equipped with the necessary media and digital skills that should propel a national development of our country, but also fundamentally bearing in mind that the country comes first and everything else is secondary, and that the intellectual capacitation in terms of education 5.0, which is heritage-based, gives us a platform for us as a people to be able to develop and to couch and set a national narrative in terms of information, publicity, and broadcasting around our heritage.
COSA board chairperson Dr. Catherine Tsikirai said the institution aims to train journalists who are relevant in the 21st century.
The theme of the training program at COSA is training journalists for the 21st century and beyond.
The graduates are excited about the journey ahead.
It has been so helpful because it was so practical, and now I can also implement the same way and even do better.
We are going to carry the vision, we are going to carry the positive news, the positive developments about our nation. I'll add to the media industry very credible information, factual.
Of the 105 students who graduated with diplomas in journalism, 58 are females, with 47 being male. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, a hearty congratulations to all the COSA graduates. We take a short break. We will be back with more.
Exactly 10 years after Zimbabwe hosted regional leaders in the majestic Victoria Falls city, the country is once again privileged to host the 44th SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government in August at the magnificent New Parliament Building in Mount Hampton, the budding smart city. His Excellency Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, who is currently the Vice Chairman of SADC, is set to assume the chairmanship role of the regional bloc and will spearhead its industrialization agenda up to the next summit in 2025. The 44th SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government runs under the theme, promoting innovation to unlock opportunities for economic growth and development towards an industrialized SADC. It comes at a time when Zimbabwe is implementing the industrialization agenda and the Vision 2030, which is aimed at transforming the country into an upper middle income society. ZBC TV will broadcast live the proceedings of the regional summit, so get ready for the event.
ZBC Current Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
November 2017 gave birth to a new hope. A new leader emerged.
I, Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa.
A visionary leader. He gave himself a mandate to transform the nation.
Brick by brick, stone upon stone.
He started putting words into action, much to the exaltation of the people of Zimbabwe.
It is fair. It is.
Who is this man? A father, a tried and tested leader, a veteran of the liberation struggle, a resolute farmer, a visionary, a nationalist poised towards a vision.
We are modernizing and industrializing the economy.
Join us as we journey together towards 2030, taking stock of every step of progress in keeping up with ED on ZBC TV.
Welcome back. The ZANU-PF Matabeleland North leadership has appealed to the party's national structures to allow President Emerson Mnangagwa's term to run until 2030 so as to enable the completion of the national development vision.
The ZANU-PF inter-district meeting met in Lupane this Saturday, where it added its voice to the continuity discourse within the party. There was consensus that endorsing President Mnangagwa's leadership until 2030 guarantees the national development agenda.
Comrade Matata ambesicela kumongameli ukuthi abantu beMathnorth bakucela ukuthi akukhokhele ilizwe seliku right track ufikise ivision yakho ngo-2030.
ZANU-PF National Political Commissar Comrade Munyaradzi Machacha accepted to deliver the province resolution to the national level.
Mutumwa hana mbonje ndinotakura masoko ndichinomasvitsa sekutaura kwamaita.
Mina isithunywa asilaponji konokwene kuchileyo yikho enza kuhambisa.
So ini rangu basa randafambira kuti tizotaura pamusoro restructuring yedu iri kuitwa yemasel nemavillage committees.
Matabeleland North has been one of the biggest beneficiaries of developmental projects initiated by the Second Republic, with the Wange Unit 7 and 8 expansion and the Kwai Ishangane Lake projects being some of the flagship undertakings by government in the province. Mhlomule Ncube, ZBC News, Lupane.
We dive straight into business news, where the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has pledged to ensure systems are in place to maintain the value of the Zimbabwe gold currency, the ZiG.
Emerged during the Institute of Chartered Accountants ICA's 2024 Winter School in Victoria Falls that the stability being experienced in the economy has made it easier for compiling financial statements for industry and commerce. During an interaction with the central bank, the accountants expressed a concern over whether the stability will continue for the benefit of Zimbabweans. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Deputy Governor Dr. Innocent Mache reaffirmed a commitment to stability by the central bank for the benefit of Zimbabweans.
The exchange rate continues to be stable in line with inflation expectations. The Reserve Bank continues to watch the reserve money and to make sure that all currency issued will never exceed the basket of currencies that we use to anchor the ZiG. Therefore, the ZiG is stable, and we've seen the velocity of money reducing, and therefore people can actually keep their ZiG in their accounts for much longer, and they can start thinking of investing. And deposits that are not call or time deposits, but longer term to medium term deposits. That helps the market with liquidity that can be used to invest and for the economy to grow.
The banking sector revealed increased demand for the newly introduced structured currency, riding on stability amid expectations of an improvement in overall savings for the domestic currency.
From a banking point of view, we would be hoping that the reserves continue to be held so that they continue to hold the value for the ZiG. On the side of the market, obviously, there's need for development of confidence, seeing the history of our currencies before, and I think that is going to see how the currency develops. And we think that there's potential for the ZiG to continue to the future with success.
Stability is being cited by industry and commerce as an important element towards effective business planning, accurate financial statements, and overall economic growth. Stanley James, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
And now in Arts News, Simon Mutambi with his song Chembere Yako claimed pole position on this week's Radio Zimbabwe Top 20 chart show.
Chembere Yako managed to garner 1,024 votes to claim the first position, displacing Killer T's Kanandanyura. Kanandafa by Raybo Poto moved 3 places in the positive to sit on number 3 from 6 last week. From position 20 last week, De Nana by Men of Thunder claimed the 16th position this week.
That's a wrap in the arts. So we go straight to sports news, where the Zimbabwe senior rugby team, the Sables, held their nerves in a nail-biting encounter to beat host Uganda 22-20 to progress to the semi-final of the Rugby Africa Cup at the Nelson Mandela International Stadium in Kampala this Saturday. First half tries from Edward Sigauke, Takudzwa Musingwindi and Kudzai Mushawi gave the Sables a comfortable 22-point lead by half-time. Uganda swung the match to their favor, responding with 20 points in the second half. The team received a standing ovation by a small crowd of the fans who waved the Zimbabwean flags and cheered them on. The victory means Zimbabwe will now face the arch-rivals, Namibia, on the 24th of this month. Well, congratulations to the Sables there.
Indeed, a hearty congratulations to the Sables from rugby. We move to soccer, where Kama Billiard has moved to join top goal scorers in the Premier Soccer League after guiding Yada to a 10-0 victory over Bikita Minerals on a day that the Platinum Derby failed to live up to its billing.
A former CAF Player of the Year, Best in Africa, runner-up and CAF Champions League winner, Kama Billiard, continues to prove his critics wrong after scoring again this Saturday. The highest paid footballer in the domestic league imprinted his name on the score sheet as Yada drew first blood in the 73rd minute against PSL newcomers Bikita Minerals. The goal was enough to take Billiard level on goals with the leading scorer William Manonto on 8 goals as the Golden Boot race gathers pace in the second half of the season. Yada, however, were not done as Blessed Ndeki sealed maximum points for the Miracle Boys, who claimed an impressive 2-0 victory against the stubborn PSL debutants. Meanwhile, the much-anticipated Platinum Derby failed to produce any goals as FC Platinum and Ngezi Platinum Stars shared the spoils at Mandava Stadium. The two teams, who are the front-runners in the title race, fired blanks, with Ngezi Platinum hitman Obrio Chirinda failing to find the back of the net for the first time this season in the goalless affair. Elsewhere, 2 goals were scored at the Green Fuel Arena as Green Fuel denied Simba Bora maximum points. Walter Musona's 5th-minute goal went in vain as the Chisumbanje-based outfit fought back to make sure the points are shared on their home turf. RNL Movers continued with their disappointing debut campaign after they lost 1-0 to Chicken Inn at home, while Chegutu Pirates and a point away to ZPC Kariba. Action continues this Sunday with a quartet of clashes as Cape United seek to complete a season double over Orientals at Rufaro Stadium. Manica Diamonds lost till 1 at Sakova. Bulawayo Chiefs face city rivals Highlanders at Boba Fields, and the clash between Wange and Dynamos at the Colliery wraps up match day 19. Reynald Ngwarati, ZBC News.
Meanwhile, Women Premier Soccer League champions Orientals Queens thrashed Mutare City 7-0 in a match day 11 encounter at Chisamba Ground today.
The lady students showcased their scoring prowess, denying their struggling opponents a single goal. Prudence Rwanda and Natasha Benza led the charge with a brace each, while Alice Moyo, Bridget Mataurwa and Nyasha Munyemo added a goal apiece to the tally. Orientals Queens' victory earned them 3 points, solidifying their position as league leaders with 30 points. On the other hand, Mutare City remains at the bottom of the table with just 4 points. In other matches, Black Rhinos Queens emerged victorious after a 6-0 dropping of Conduit Academy, while Black Mambas suffered a 2-1 loss to Shisham. Correctional Queens secured a narrow 1-0 win against the Platinum Royals. Action continues this Sunday with 3 exciting matches as Maningi Youth Academy face off with MSU Queens at MSU Grounds. Hope Academy take on Zeterapi Harare Queens at Asco Racecourse Stadium, while Chapungu Queens are away to Faith Drive at Chisamba Grounds in Mutare. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
And that's a wrap on the news at 8. For myself, Liam Bernard, Susan Mason on the sign language desk, and Arthur from our Montreal studios.
And myself, Yvonne Mukandani. Thank you for having joined us. Good night.
Good night.